Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. For those that my current subscribers, I would just want to say thank you for those that are paying that support and kind of continuously watching my videos. Hopefully, you'll find them informative. Those that are joining the channel for the first time, hopefully, you'll find the information useful. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I can guarantee there's somebody else out there that can utilize the information that we're trying to share. A little quick and important disclaimer. I'm not a lawyer or subject matter expert in all these fields that we are having these discussions on. I'm simply just sharing this information based on the information that I found useful over time. Some things update and laws change, and so if I say something you're not sure about, please go back and revisit it and do the research. If you have additional questions throughout the video, please don't hesitate to subscribe down below. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about the top 9 mistakes that federal employees make when it comes to the Thrift Savings Plan. That is a Thrift Saving Plan. So let's get into the topic. Okay, so let's get into this. The Thrift Saving Plan is known in the workplace as a TSP. That is a federal government retirement program, kind of open to all federal employees, kind of similar to what you would know in the private and the public sector as like a 401k. The TSP participants can contribute pre-tax, let's say, earnings from their pay, and that actually gets matched up to a certain percentage, and we'll get into that. There's a variety of investment options that are available, design and suit the employee's comfortability with managing funds and their individual goals. So it's different from employee to employee. You kind of decide what those options are. Employees can start contributing from day one, and they can start receiving some type of annuity sometime around 59 and a half years of age without any penalties. Now think of another retirement vehicle. Think of it as another retirement vehicle that the federal retirement offers, basically other than what you would plan for your Social Security, which you and I know is not suitable for long-term planning. So with that said, let's kind of get into the 9 TSP mistakes that federal employees make, okay? All right, so let's take a look at number 1. Number 1 is not having a TSP plan at all. TSP may be the largest retirement vehicle for federal employees. So it's important to, say, evaluate how that fits into your retirement plan. Federal retirement, which is called the FERS, Federal Employee Retirement System, and it's an okay system. There are those that still fall under the CRS system, but most employees today fall under FRS. It's not the best system in the world, but it's a good system. So the TSP just offers another vehicle for you to consider when you look towards your long-term financial stability when you get of age and you start looking at how you plan to sustain long-term. Okay. Number two is not making at least 5% contribution to the plan. If you're not contributing at least 5% to your plan, you're leaving some significant money on the table. Your agency will match 5%. Now, let me explain that. So despite whatever plan that you choose, they're going to match it up to 5%. So the first 3% that you're contributing to the plan, they match it dollar for dollar. That's outstanding. Now, the other 2%, they're matching that 50% or 50 cents to every dollar that you contribute. So it will behoove you that if you can afford, based on your financial situation, of course, if you can invest as much as you can, of course, you take it the extra mile. So for many years, I've been investing about 11% within the TSP. And then, of course, when you get 50 plus, you can do what's called a catch up. And that really helps you, especially when you look at history within the market. And the market is always going to be, or should have been in the past, always been 4% to 13%. You and I don't know what the market's going to do at that time. But I can assure you, if I'm gaining a match of 5% and the return is going to be anywhere from 4 to 13%, I think over my entire career, you can see why it's relatively easy to walk away at minimum with $250,000. And that's a good investment vehicle. Not every scenario does offer that. So please take into account the importance of that. Let's move on to number 3. So investing into the G fund. So the G fund is just one of the index funds which is invested in the U.S. government securities that are issued to TSP. It is attractive to a lot of people because there's low volatility there, and the earnings that you make, it makes people feel like they're not losing a lot of their principal. Rather than investing or not, whether you invest or not, the federal government is still going to put at minimum 1% into the G fund. So that's your safe fund. That's where I look at it as kind of like a savings account. That's not where I want my money to be. If I wanted to keep my money in the bank, I would do just that. Okay, and let's get into number 4. Number 4 is choosing or forgetting a life cycle fund. Life cycle funds are comprised of 5 of the TSP funds and are automatically shifted to a conservative allocation as you reach retirement. So let me explain what that means. So you can go in low, you can go in moderate, you can go pretty aggressive. There are different funds out there. There is the S fund, the C fund, the I fund, and other funds, and then the G. So you'll have a tendency to find federal employees that they will go either moderate or high in either the SC or the I fund, and they keep that aggressive for their entire career. And of course, with the market being volatile, as there's ups and downs, and you'll continue along that path till you start hitting that retirement pension age. And then what you'll end up having to do is, to kind of secure or solidify the money that you've already earned, then you'll just go ahead and just kind of move the money into the G fund. So that way there's low possibility of a major loss. So that's what a lot of federal employees do. Okay, so the next, number 5, the next one we're going to get into is another mistake, is having outstanding loans. So one of the things that's positive about the TSP is you can borrow from yourself versus a bank. So depending on how much money you have within your program, you can basically you can take a loan, a simple interest loan, where you can have a personal loan, or you can do it for purchasing a house or major home repairs, things of that nature. Simple interest loan, you have to pay it back upon retirement. Now you get up to 90 days after retirement to pay it off without having these penalties of, for say, 20% and 10% tax. So you can take a loan from yourself and pay it back before you retire. So that way there are no penalties. So that's just another way. The other category is not synchronizing your TSP fund with outside vehicles. Your TSP is valuable, but it should not be your only investment account. You and I know we can't rely on Social Security, and we need to put our money in different vehicles so that way you're set up for success when the time comes. If you only rely on certain aspects of the job, it's really setting yourself up for failure. What I mean by that is the federal government has categories from GS1, which is, I don't see that too often, but there are positions as a GS1, and it goes up to GS15 and then executive service. So if you maintain let's say a GS4, GS5 your entire career, and you're not making a lot of money, your investments could be low, your retirement pay is going to be low because it's based on your high 3 years. So investing your money at the highest level you can really helps you long term. Okay, let's move into number 7. Number 7 is basically failing to update your beneficiary. So when a lot of us start into the federal government, we may be relatively young, we may be, let's say, fresh out of college, and we end up leaving, we sign up for that beneficiary who we want to appoint this money to go to in the absence of our deaths, right? So where does this money go? So you sign up and you put a beneficiary on that dotted line, and now years later you forget about it. You get remarried, or you're married, and all of a sudden now you need to take care of your family. So if you left it to a parent and now the parent is deceased, who gets the money? Good question. The government may just keep the money. So it is beneficial for you to keep up on your beneficiary and make sure that you appoint that where you need to go, so the government is not kind of getting their money back, right? Okay, let's move into number 8. Number 8 would be failing to understand what your withdrawal options are. And what I mean by that is when you become of age, at age 59 and a half with no penalty, depending on which plan you're on, whether you're on a traditional or your Roth plan, you have a couple options. You can take a lump sum. Of course, that's your money. That is your choice. You can also take it as an annuity and get paid monthly for the rest of your life. Hence, my reason for having 2 plans. One plan, I have the ability when I retire to take a lump sum, and that lump sum kind of secures, everything I want to do, pay off any debt that I could owe at that time, and then still have that money coming in. Now, of course, if I plan things correctly and I don't have any debt, then I can just leave it as a annuity and have that come every month. We know I don't have to worry about it. It comes every month. And let's move into number 9. And finally, is trying to invest in past experiences, right? You should never base your investment on what happened in the past. You really need to kind of monitor things from time to time, see what the market is doing. You and I know a company's here today and then the company's gone tomorrow. So you kind of put your money where you know it's going to last and where it's going to secure itself. Well, I hope you found those 9 tips informative. Hopefully you found the information educational and useful to you. The federal government is one of the largest employers in the United States. Do you know what your benefits are? Start taking a close look at your benefits, see what they are and how they will benefit you long term. Well, I won't keep you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. There's videos coming every week. As there's specific requests about the federal government, some of the topic you want me to talk about, please don't hesitate to reach out and tell me what that is. Well, thank you for watching the video. Hopefully you found it useful. Please be safe out there, and please have a safe and enjoyable day. Thank you.